Welcome to Easy to Love Yoga with Shanna. Thank you so much for joining me for this chair yoga class today. Don't forget to subscribe and to share this channel with your friends and family on your social media. It's a free channel and it's open to everyone. So let's begin class by coming seated forward in our chair, glutes on the chair, hamstrings off the chair, that nice 90-degree bend in our knees. We're going to focus on our posture here, sitting nice and tall, elongating the spine. Let's roll the shoulders back and down a couple of times, releasing any tension we might be holding in our shoulders today. And then place your hands wherever they land comfortably in your lap. Let's close our eyes for a moment and notice our breath. Notice on the inhale, the chest rises and then the belly rises. And on the exhale, the belly falls and then the chest falls. Let's notice our breath for the next 6 rounds of breath. Bringing your attention now to the crown of your head, let's do a scan of our body from the crown of our head to our toes, noticing any areas we need to be mindful of during practice today. Completing the scan of our body and remembering if a pose feels uncomfortable, you do not need to do it. Please wait for us to move on. It's important to always stay safe during practice. Bringing your attention once again to your breath, let's move to our 4 square breathing practice. Starting with an inhale through the nose of 4, 3, 2, 1. Retain your breath. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale through the nose. 4, 3, 2, 1. Retain the emptiness. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling, focus on posture. Retain. Exhale. Retain. Inhale, relaxing the shoulders. Retain. Exhale. Retain. Inhale. Retain. Exhale. Retain. Returning now to your regular breath, and just notice that you're breathing deeply. Opening your eyes, let's begin by rolling our shoulders to the back of the room. Remember, 4 square breathing can be very useful in calming your body very quickly anytime you're anxious, angry, or stressed. So just keep 4 square breathing in your back pocket for the next time you need it. Let's roll the shoulders to the front of the room, releasing any tension we're holding. One more roll forward. Beautiful. And just placing the hands on your lap. Now let's take one ear towards the shoulder. So lowering one ear towards the shoulder, take the same hand and place it gently on the head. Now the opposite hand, release and point the fingers towards the floor. Nice gentle stretch to the side of the neck. One more breath, bringing the hands to your lap and straightening the head. Lowering the head the opposite direction, once again taking the hand on the same side of the body to the top of the head. Opposite hand, fingers pointing down towards the floor, stretching the other side of the neck. One more breath here. Releasing hands to your lap and bringing the head back to center. This time lift the chin, purse your lips at the ceiling as if you were taking a selfie, getting a nice stretch in the front of the neck. One more breath. And return to center. This time lower the chin into the chest, stretching the back of the neck, and add the fingers just lightly pressing to the top of the head. Releasing the hands once again to your lap and bringing your head back to center. Beautiful. Let's hold on to one side of the chair. Bring the opposite hand up overhead. Really stretch and reach here. And then gradually add a tiny side bend. Deepen it. A little deeper. And just a little more. Feeling the nice stretch in the side of the body. One more breath. And then we're going to sit straight up once again, changing sides, bringing the other hand directly overhead. Adding that tiny stretch, a little deeper, and just a little further, feeling that beautiful stretch in the side body. And let's slowly come back up into a nice seated position. Beautiful. So let's take one hand to the opposite knee, the other hand behind you on the chair. I want you to focus on posture here, sitting nice and tall. Let's exhale, twist, look over the shoulder for 8 rounds of breath. Remember to continue to breathe deeply. The muscles will begin to relax in this gentle twist. One more breath here. Slowly unwind, coming back to our starting position, and let's do the opposite side. Hand to opposite knee, the other hand behind us on a chair, sitting tall. Exhale and twist. One more breath here. Slowly unwind, coming forward once again. Let's roll out our wrists in one direction, keeping the wrists and forearms healthy. We spend a lot of time on our phones and our computers. Let's roll the opposite way. Now we're going to bring our hands together at heart center and just hold here. I want you to think about really pressing the fingers and the palms of the hands together. We're going to simply bring our fingers forward, still pressing the palms of the hands and the fingers together. Coming back to our starting position. Now lift your elbows slightly. Now we're going to move towards the body. Remember, keep those palms and fingers firmly together as you move towards the body. Back to our starting position. Moving forward. Back to our starting position, and one last time moving towards the body, still pressing the palms and the fingers firmly together. Let's come back to our starting position. Relax a little bit. You can loosen a little bit with the fingers. Now what we're going to do is we're going to relax the left hand and we're going to press gently on it with the right hand. You're looking for a stretching sensation in the wrist here. One more breath, coming to center. This time relax the right hand as the left hand presses upon it. Once again, looking for that stretch in the lower part of the wrist. One more breath. Come center, changing sides once again, relaxing the hand being pressed upon. One more breath. Return to center, and last time the opposite direction, relaxing the hand being pressed upon. Coming back to center, and let's shake it out, jazz hands. Beautiful. Now we're just going to make a fist here. We're just going to do a little movement up and down with the wrist. This is a small movement. Let's do 2 more like this. And now we're going to change that movement slightly inside and back to center. Two more. Beautiful. And let's roll those wrists out once again. And the other way. Beautiful. Shake them out. Now let's take our feet and let's extend them out slightly. We're going to have the toes slightly pointing out on a diagonal. We're going to do a modified forward fold. We're looking to relax the entire back of our body as we introduce a stretch. So we're going to start our hands gliding down our legs. Well, the aim is to get the hands all the way to the ankles. But if you find that difficult, you can always pause here at the knees with the elbows resting on the knees and stay here. Otherwise, allow the hands to continue to travel all the way down to the ankles. Focusing now on relaxing your low back, relaxing your mid back, relaxing your upper back, relax your shoulders, relax your neck, and relax your head so the crown of your head starts to shine towards the mat. Focus on relaxing all the muscles in the back of the body. Breathing deeply here, holding for 8 rounds of breath. One more breath here. Slowly allow the hands to start climbing back up the body. And we're all going to come into the pose where we're resting our elbows on our legs. We're going to rotate one arm up to the ceiling, looking through the fingers, holding for 4 rounds of breath. Slowly rotate down and let's change sides. Opposite arm comes straight overhead, looking to the ceiling, 4 rounds of breath. Slowly rotating down, this time changing, and it's 2 rounds of breath. Rotating down, change again, 2 rounds of breath. And now we're going to move into singles. We're going to do 8 singles at your own pace, looking through the fingers at the ceiling and then changing sides. Two left. Last one. Beautiful, and holding here. Now, leave one elbow on your knee. I'd like you to take the opposite hand and bring it up and over. I want you to gaze under your armpit at the wall. This is a modified extended side angle. One more breath. Returning your elbow to the knee, and let's do the other side, bringing the other arm up and over, gazing under the armpit at the wall, holding here. One more breath. And let's return the elbow to the knee, and we'll allow the hands to glide all the way back up. Let's bring those feet in slightly. Still with the toes just pointed out slightly. We're going to bring our arms up into a cactus pose. We're going to draw the palms of the hands and the elbows together in front of the body and really squeeze here. Squeezing together the fingers, the palms of the hands, the forearms, and the elbows. Let's come into neutral. This time let's engage the shoulder blades as we draw those elbows slightly behind us. You're going to feel your chest lift and open, but you're also going to feel the shoulder blades moving towards each other. Come back to neutral. Once again, let's squeeze everything in front of the body. Fingers, palms, forearms, elbows. Coming back into neutral. Once again, bringing those elbows slightly behind, feeling the shoulder blades contract towards each other. Coming back into neutral, let's lower the arms. Let's roll the shoulders out a couple of times. And the opposite direction. Beautiful. We're going to start with those cactus arms once again with the change. This time we're going to bring our palms facing the ground and raise them back up. So this is neutral and up, neutral, up, neutral, up. This time come into neutral and hold. Let's lower, come to neutral, lower, neutral, lower, neutral, lower, neutral, up, neutral, lower, neutral, up, neutral, lower, neutral, up. Let's lower the arms here. Let's roll the shoulders out again a couple of times. Release any tension. Roll the other way now. Beautiful. One more thing we're going to do with the arms. Let's bring those feet a little bit more forward, 90-degree bend at the knees. Let's take our arms directly out to the side. We're going to just have our pointer finger pointing out. We're just going to start with a small circle forward. Let's make that circle a little bit bigger. So if we were drawing on the walls on either side of us, make that circle larger. And I want you to find your range of motion here. How big can you make those circles comfortably? Let's start to shrink that circle back down again. A little smaller, 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 tiny. Lower your arms, shake it out, and let's come back to our starting position. This time we're moving in the opposite direction, so making those circles backwards. Make them a little bigger, bigger. Now find your range of motion. Make it smaller, 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 teeny tiny, and lower. Now let's shrug those shoulders as we inhale. Exhale, relax them down. Shrug, inhale. Exhale, relax. Shrug, inhale, exhale, relax. Now let's place our hands on our waist or our hips. We're going to think about drawing a shoulder towards the opposite knee. So we're just going to bring our feet apart slightly here. So we're going to lower one shoulder towards the knee and then rise back up again. The opposite shoulder towards the knee, rising up. We have no intention of actually touching our knees here, just moving in that direction. Rise up and shoulder. And this time we're going to free a hand and we're going to reach down as we make that movement. Reach down as you make the movement. Changing side to side. Reaching down as you make that movement with the shoulder. Reach. Reach. Let's do two more. Reach. And reach. Beautiful. And bringing your hands once again to your waist, bringing your feet back in front of the body. Let's do a nice circle motion with the hips. Notice if you have any tension you're holding in your low back, your hips here, as we make this nice circular motion, making nice circles today. If you're not making circles, just pay attention to what your body's telling you. Maybe this is something you need to work on, a little bit of mobility. Let's roll one more time in this direction. And we're going to pause. Let's roll in the opposite direction now, making that nice circular motion. Noticing any tension we need to release. Once more in this direction. Beautiful. And let's pause here. Now we're going to start with our hands down by our side for a couple of rounds of cow and cat breath. Inhaling, reaching up into cow, lifting the chest and the gaze as the belly comes forward. And then exhale into cat as you arch your back towards the back of the chair and draw your hands behind. Inhale into cow. Exhale to cat and arch. Inhale and lift to cow. Exhale to cat and arch. We'll do one more just like this. Inhale to cow. And exhale to cat. Beautiful. This time let's just bring our hands directly overhead. They're hip width apart. We're going to keep them directly overhead just like this. And we're going to look up at the ceiling. We're going to exhale and twist in one direction. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twist the opposite way. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. And exhale, twist. Inhale, center, and hold here. Now let's bring our hands down to heart center with our elbows pointing out to the sides. This time as we exhale, we're going to drop one elbow. Inhale to center. Exhale, drop. Inhale, center. Exhale, drop. Inhale, center. Exhale, drop. Inhale, center. This time extend your arms out. Let's do the same thing. Exhale, drop. Look overhead at the hand above you. Inhale, center. Exhale, drop. Inhale, center. Exhale, drop. Inhale, center. Exhale, drop. Inhale, center, and hold. This time we're going to introduce that twist with our arms fully extended. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. One more. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Beautiful. Now still seated in our chair with just our glutes, let's bring our hands to the chair to hold on to help with posture. We're going to pick one foot up. We're going to roll out the ankle in one direction. Noticing, taking a look at your foot and your ankle. Are you making nice circles here? And let's roll the other way. Beautiful. And let's set that foot down. Let's pick up the other foot. Once again, starting out with that roll, and take a look at your foot. Is it a circle that you're making? Do you have a good range of motion here? Let's roll the other way. And let's set that foot down. Now we're going to start touching the heel down and then bring the toe close to the floor, touch down. Heel far, toe close. And we're just going to get some movement going out to the side as we travel, touching down the heel and the toe. Bring it once again to the front, once again to the side, again to the front, last time out to the side, travel once more to the front. And let's place that foot down. We're going to start with the other side. So heel taps and then toe, heel and toe. And now let's travel out to the side. Back to the front. Again to the side. Back to the front. Again to the side. To the front. To the side. And last time, traveling back to the front. And placing that foot down. Now we're going to keep our heels locked in place and we're going to be moving our toes. So our toes are going to move in, center, out, center. So keeping your heels rooted, feet are about a yoga block distance apart, or feet are about hip width apart. So let's bring those toes in to the center and out. And now let's do a little quicker. Center, out, center, in, center, out, center, in. Just keep it going. Tap those toes down each time. Let's do one more set. And hold here. Now bring those toes in just a tiny bit. This time our toes are going to stay rooted on the floor, and it's going to be the heels that are moving. So heels come in, center, out, center. Now let's speed it up. In, center, out, center, in, center, out, center. Keep it going. Rooting the toes into the mat. Just the heels are moving. Almost there. One more set. All right, stopping here. Now we're going to take one toe, we're going to touch down on the floor and bring that foot slightly forward. Hold onto the chair with both hands for balance. Let's just lift that toe off the floor, feeling the quads engage here. Now let's change that to a flex of the foot, and again, lift. One more. Back to the pointed toe. Lift. Back to the flexed foot and lift. And that's the last one, just rest that foot. Now it's just something to notice, something interesting. Each one of us is going to notice whether it's our toe pointed or our foot flexed. One of those is going to be a little bit more difficult than the other, so just notice what it is in your body. So let's start with our toe pointing and lift. Let's change to the flexed foot. Back to the pointed toe. And back to the flexed foot. And that's the last one. Set it down. Did you notice which one was harder? Just curious. All right, sitting nice and tall. Once again, we're just going to take our hands out to the side. We're going to do a couple rounds of cow and cat breath. Only when we come into cow this time, we're actually going to come into a standing chair. And then we're going to sit down into cat, arch our back, draw our arms behind. So get ready, starting with your palms shining forward. Inhale and rise to cow. Exhale and sit to cat. Inhale and rise. Exhale and sit. Inhale, rise. Exhale, sit. Let's do two more. Inhale, rise. Exhale, sit. Last one. Inhale, rise. Exhale, sit. Beautiful. So once again, let's just roll our shoulders to the back. Let's roll our shoulders forward. And then let's place our hands on our lap, wherever they land comfortably, and close our eyes. I want you to take a moment to notice your breath once again. Maybe bring one hand to your chest and one hand to your belly. I want you to notice your breath for the next 4 rounds of breath. As you inhale, the chest rises and belly rises. And as you exhale, the belly falls and chest falls. Releasing your hands once again to your lap, keeping your eyes closed, still noticing your breath. Let's take a moment to do another scan of our body, starting at the crown of our head, working down to our toes. Just notice how you're feeling after this practice today. Remember, notice without expectation or judgment. And remember, it starts with you. If you want to become more active, just think about what you believe you can achieve. It's your mindset. It's having a positive attitude. Whatever you decide you can do, put a little effort behind it, and you'll be very surprised at what you can actually achieve. So taking one more moment to notice our breath. Let's bring our hands together at heart center, palms come together. I'd like to thank all of you for sharing your energy with me today in this practice, taking this mindful time for your own self-care. It's very important. The light within me humbly bows to the light within each of you. Namaste. Thank you again for participating in this class. I hope it's a new beginning for you and you can start getting a little bit more active, getting a little bit more mobility and functional movement into your day by doing some of these classes. I'll see you next time.